Good morning, I'm Kevin Petrus. I'm a lieutenant with the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department assigned to the Public Affairs Office. I want to thank you for joining us this morning as we meet to discuss a recent shooting that occurred in the Metro Division. On April 24th, a young 8-year-old girl was shot during the overnight hours as she slept in her bed in her house in the Metro Division. This is a deeply tragic incident, and we're asking for the community's help to solve this case. Captain Matthew Horner is the commander of the Metro Division, and he's here this morning to provide some remarks. Standing with him will be Detective Luke Amos and Group Supervisor Christian Anderson with the ATF Charlotte office.
Morning, everybody. Thanks for coming this morning. I just wanted to provide a brief update on the case from Monday, April 24th. As Lieutenant Petrus said, around 1 o'clock in the morning, the 2800 block of Burbank Drive, there was a shooting into an occupied dwelling. The house was shot into dozens of times by multiple shooters. And within that home at the time were 9 children and 7 adults at the time of the shooting. Unfortunately, as a result of that shooting, many of you know there was a young child, 8-year-old Olivia Velez, who was shot in the head and was seriously injured. Because of the intentional reckless act of multiple individuals, Olivia is still in the hospital and recovering. It has been almost a week and a half at this point, and these individuals responsible are not in custody. Someone knows something, and that's why we're here today. I just want to talk briefly about the efforts that have gone on up to this point within this agency to try to solve this case. The Metro Division's entire detective squad has shared the workload of this case. Lead Detective Luke Amos has worked tirelessly for many hours trying to solve this case for Olivia and her family. The entire crime gun suppression team has also been focusing on multiple persons of interest, trying to get us to a lead. The crime lab has also offered all the assistance and their resources, as well as additional investigative units within the agency have offered their expertise to us in the division to see what advice they may be able to offer. In addition, we've leveraged the partnership with our federal partners in the ATF. They're also offering an additional $2,500 reward money, in addition to up to $5,000 from Crime Stoppers for any leads that may help us close this case. Today, we're basically looking for the media's assistance. I know you guys reported on this initially when it happened, but we're looking to you to continue to share this information. Hopefully somebody out there knows something and is willing to speak up. Again, we're talking about a serious amount of reward money, but even more important than that, we're talking about an 8-year-old girl that's still in the hospital, and the people responsible for her shooting are not in jail. I can say as a father of 2 kids, everybody up here standing with me are also parents. It should infuriate anybody out there that's proud to be a citizen of Charlotte that these people are not in custody. It is shameful that someone knows something and we have not gotten enough information to close this case. Olivia's mom has been cooperating with us as much as she can while also caring for her other children. A parent should not have to worry that their child goes to bed on a Sunday night before school on Monday morning, and in the middle of the night their house gets shot into and their 8-year-old daughter gets shot in the head. Like I said, she's currently recovering. She's had some serious injuries, and we're just not sure what her quality of life is going to look like after this. I want to thank the media for coming out, again, sharing this information. Thank the viewers. Again, we're looking for that extra piece of information that we just not have gotten yet to try to close this case. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them the best I can.
How is the ATF cooperating or helping in on this?
So the ATF is a general partner with CMPD every day. Since we don't have any suspects at this point, right now they are the ones that specifically offered to give us additional reward money. So they are offering up $2,500 of their own reward money, as well as our Crime Stoppers up to $5,000.
I know you're still looking for a lot of information. Has there been any type of tips or leads called into CMPD?
So we've had some witnesses come forward that have offered pieces of information. Again, we're actively investigating, so I'm not going to get into the details of that. But unfortunately, the information that has trickled in has just not gotten us to the point of identifying a suspect that we're able to charge.
Did you say there were multiple suspects, possibly?
Yes, ma'am, there were multiple shooters.
Any idea how many?
More than one.
shot into a car, I know or shot out of a car, I'm assuming, or were these people walking through the streets?
So I'm not gonna get into the details of that, but, again, there were multiple shooters that shot at this residence in the middle of the night.
Is this residence targeted at this point?
It definitely was not an unintended target. We do believe it was intentionally targeted. Again, there were dozens of rounds fired at this individual residence. Again, I'm not gonna get into why we believe it may be targeted or any of the investigative details, but it was not an accidental shooting.
Any other questions?
Thanks. Thank you, Captain. I would like to draw everyone's attention, if you can, to my left, your right. On the screen, we have a photo of young Olivia, a beautiful little girl who Captain Horner mentioned was, of course, the tragic victim in this incident. You don't have to be a parent to feel this. There are very few incidents as tragic as something like this. And again, those parents in this room and those parents that are watching, myself included, it's gut-wrenching and it's heart-aching to hear a story like this. I think everyone feels that. And so while we will continue to investigate and while we will use every available resource at our disposal to continue to investigate this case, we are asking for help. We do need help. Public safety is an all of the above approach. It's the police department, it's the media, it's the community, it's everyone. And so we are asking for that help. So to recap, the reward money for this case has been raised to up to $7,500, thanks to Crime Stoppers and the ATF. And we hope that anyone watching, anyone that hears this, anyone that sees your broadcast that has information will share that information, as it might be the critical piece, the missing piece, that one small piece that can bring justice to Olivia and her family. So that's what we're asking for this morning. That's what we hope to get from the community and from all our partners. Thank you.